Hi, boys and girls. I've got another book by Helen Lester, and the illustrations were by Lynn Munsinger again. And this one's called All for Me and None for All. And this pig right here, see with the G on his shirt, the front of his shirt, his name is Gruntley. And he is very, very greedy. He likes to take everything for himself. And in this story, Helen Lester has them go on what they call a treasure hunt. So we're going to read to find out what they find, or what he finds on the treasure hunt. Okay? And look at this. All for me and none for all. And what I want you to be thinking about too is why she calls this all for me and none for all. Gruntley was a ball hog. Not only did he refuse to share his toys with Hampshire and Berkshire, but he helped himself to theirs. So if he's a ball hog, that means he takes it all for himself. If you hog something, you take it all. And he even helps himself to their toys. See those two? So kind of funny that he's a ball hog. A hog is another word for a pig. See how clever she is? And I noticed something else. Hampshire and Berkshire, these are the two pigs. There is a Hampshire and a Berkshire pig, and they happen to be darker colored. Like most pigs are kind of a pink color. These are darker. Gruntley grabbed Yorkie's shoes, even though he already had far more shoes than feet. So there's Yorkie. And it got worse. Gruntley constantly snuck up on Woolworth, this is Woolworth, and Cluck to gather more fluff and feathers so he would have the poofiest pillows. If there was a something, he wanted it all for himself. Now let's think about this. I told you about Hampshire and Berkshire. She named him Gruntley. Why do you think she named him Gruntley? And why do you think she named him Yorkie? And why did Helen Lester name him Woolworth and Cluck? Gruntley might be because pigs kind of grunt like that. This is a kind of dog called a Yorkshire Terrier. So Helen Lester calls him Yorkie. And then Woolworth, well, he's a sheep, he's got wool. And hen clucks. So see how she does that? She has a little fun with these names. These are things that you can think about when you write your own stories. What a hog, snorted Hampshire, Berkshire, and Yorkie. He bestows new meaning upon the word. Wise, Woolworth said wisely. Cluck, Cluck said and nodded. She was a chicken of few words. So see, he's taking everything from them. So they're saying, what a hog. And when it says here, he bestows new meaning upon the word, means he really does know the meaning of that word. He's taking everything. And cluck is a chicken of few words. That means she doesn't really say a lot. She just says cluck, cluck. That's it. Clearly, Gruntley's companions were fed up with his greediness. He's very greedy. He takes everything. And look at them. They are not very happy. One day, as Gruntley was skipping along, wolfing somebody else's donut and collecting illegal flowers, he came upon a sign. The Parks Department invites you to a treasure hunt on Saturday. If he's wolfing someone's donut, wolfing does not mean there's a wolf. Wolfing means that you're eating something really fast, like the whole donut. Look at him. And he collected illegal flowers. Over here it says on the sign, please do not pick the flowers. He picked them. He broke the law. But now he sees this sign, and the parks department is inviting them to a treasure hunt. "Oh, yes," exclaimed Gruntley, "a treasure all for me. Gold up to my belly, silver to my snout, diamonds to my pointy ears. That's what it's all about. Hey." So again, she makes a little rhyme. Gold up to my belly, silver to my snout, diamonds to my pointy ears. That's what it's all about. Hey. Gold up to his belly. Do you know that a pig's nose is called a snout? And his pointy ears, diamonds up to his pointy ears. This is a thought bubble. He's thinking about a treasure. A treasure is something valuable. That's what he's thinking the treasure hunt's going to be. Do you think that the Parks and Rec department are going to hide gold and silver treasures and diamonds? Let's see. When Sunday came, Gruntley was ready for action. The park ranger, see, he's in charge of the park, explained the rules of the treasure hunt to the eager hunters. Look at, they're so ready. They're listening carefully. "You will have 3 clues," she said. "I'll give you the first clue. If you follow that and the other clues, you'll find a treasure." "Ooh," said Hampshire, Berkshire, and Yorkie. "A stupendously superb opportunity," observed wise Woolworth. "Cluck," agreed Cluck. "And over at the starting line, yes," hissed Gruntley. "I'm going to be number 1 and get all the treasure. All for me and none for all." And that's the starting line. Now, what are you noticing in the illustration on this page? Think about it. Do you notice all of these characters? They're all listening carefully. And what is Gruntley doing? Not listening. What do you think is going to happen? Okay. And what's interesting too, look at what I just noticed. All for me and none for all. That's the title of the book. All for me and none for all. That's another interesting technique that she does. She uses the title, she uses a line from the book and puts it as her title. Very clever. The park ranger called out for the first clue. Clue 1. Go 50 steps, then you will see clue number 2 under the sea. Yes. Now, you know who said sea, S-E-A, meaning water? Gruntley. Okay? Gruntley was in such a hurry to be in the lead, he didn't bother to hear the end of the clue. As the others headed off to look under the tree, Gruntley was racing toward the sea. So he made it rhyme. Go 50 steps, then you will see clue number 2 under the sea. But he didn't wait for the clue. He just left. So all of them are going to look under the tree. Let's see what they find. And you know what? That's actually another clue that the illustrator, right, Lynn Munsinger, gives us. Because if we didn't know what that last word was supposed to be, go 50 steps, then you will see clue number 2 under the tree. It should be that. But he didn't wait to listen. He said, oh, it's under the sea. So look at what he's doing. He went to the ocean. Gruntley did not get far. Gruntley got wet, so he slogged back. As he passed the tree, the second clue, which the other hunters had left behind, blew right into his hand. So the others found the clue, but they left it behind. And this is what it said. To find the next clue and make your heart sing, go to the playground, look under the... What do you think that word might be? Look under the... Could it be swing? Now he does not really read it carefully, and he looks someplace different. Again, greedy Gruntley was so eager to be number 1, he skipped the last word. I've got it, he snorted. Wing! Look under the wing! But do you think that the clue is under the wing? Nope. And because he didn't take time to read it carefully, he's looking in the wrong place. Several annoyed and squawking birds later, he kept looking under all sorts of wings. Gruntley gave up the wing idea and he hurried past the playground swing. As he hurried past the playground swing, he tripped over the last clue, which his companions had tossed in the grass. Companions, what do you think that is? What do you think that word means? If you didn't know, I'm going to read it again. Gruntley gave up the wing idea, and as he hurried past the playground swing, he tripped over the last clue, which his companions had tossed in the grass. Companions are friends, people that he was with. His friends left him left it by the swing, which is what that missing word really was. That's where the clue was. So what clue number 3 says, to find your own treasure, turn left at the frog, and there it will be under a, what do you think it might be? I know, said Gruntley, under a hog. And there it will be, under a huge hog. Yes. So let's see. Do you think it's going to be under a hog? Look at the picture. Look carefully. Gruntley galloped on, zoomed left at the frog, and screeched to a halt. He was surprised to find his companions already sitting on a log. Now let's think about that word companions. What do you think that word means? I'm going to read it again. Gruntley galloped on, zoomed left at the frog, and screeched to a halt. He was surprised to find his companions already sitting on a log. Yeah, you're right. Companions means friends. His friends were on the log. But no time to wonder. It was time for some serious hog tipping. Now, if that phrase hog tipping means he's going to tip them over. Because when he read the note, he didn't read the last word. He just said, to find your treasure, turn left at the frog, and there it will be under a, he thinks it says hog. What do you think it should have been? Let's see. Pardon me, move it, please. Sorry, Woolworth. Didn't mean you. Scusi. So he's tipping them over. He thinks that it's under there. When both the hogs had been tipped, with absolutely no treasure beneath them, Gruntley paused and blinked. How could this be? No gold, no silver, no diamonds? See, that's what he's thinking it was going to be. Wait a minute, Gruntley eyed the little bags the others were clutching. What you got? Now, why do you think that they're like that? Why are they clutching them? When you clutch something, you hold it closely to yourself, like this. The little group backed away. Trail mix, they answered, are our treasures. So why do you think they're protecting them like that? Remember how he is. He likes to take everything from them. So they're kind of hiding it, and they're just saying, trail mix, that's all that's in here. And he says, that's it? Trail mix? Seriously? Gruntley was almost speechless as his mind tried to replace gold, silver, and diamonds with trail mix. This was stressful, but he did it. After all, trail mix was rather yummy and crunchy and sweet and delicious. So instead of diamonds and gold and silver, this was the treasure. The treasure was trail mix that you eat. Okay, trail mix usually has peanuts and M&Ms and sometimes raisins and sometimes chocolate chips. Yummy. A little bit of a different treasure than he thought. I don't suppose there might be some left for me. And again, she puts it in capital letters, so we'll say it loud. All for me? Gruntley Gruntly's fellow hunters, fearing that he might grab at any moment, gripped their little bags so tightly they crackled. See, so they're tightly grabbing them, they're crackling. Then Cluck, the chicken of few words, strutted forward. She looked Gruntly in the eye and said, "Cluck." "Look," wondered Gruntly. "Look where?" See, he knows what she's saying. Cluck pointed her ruffled wing toward the log. "Cluck." "There?" asked Gruntly. And then Cluck got down on her knees, or whatever chickens get down on, and pointed way low with her beak. "Cluck, cluck, 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 cluck. Cluck, 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 cluck." "Under the log?" So she's showing him, and look carefully at that illustration. What's under that log? What do you see? Oh, now Gruntly got it. Without even waiting, as Cluck clucked, "You betcha." Instead of saying "you betcha," remember, she doesn't really speak words. She just says cluck, 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 cluck. Gruntly looked under the log and grabbed his treasure. And it said right on it, Gruntly, his very own treasured treasure. He was about to dig in, ... But wait. The others had saved it. No one had touched it or taken it or snatched it or grabbed it or tried a nibble or a gobble or hogged it. They left it for him, right? Think about what kind of people they are. They didn't hog it all. Gruntly was so moved by his companion's kindness and honesty, there was only one thing to do. Should he? Would he? Could he? Cluck, cluck, wondered Cluck. As Gruntly moved closer, Hampshire, Berkshire, and Yorkie hugged their treasures, trembling. Look at, they're trembling. They're so scared. Why are they scared? Talk to the person next to you. Why are they scared? I think they're afraid he's going to take it. Cluck continued to wonder, and Woolworth pulled the wool over his eyes. Gruntly looked at his worried companions. All the little group, whoops, did I skip it? Nope. All ... The little group took a deep breath. Gruntly just smiled. Almost all for me, but some for all. Gruntly shared. So look at what happened. What lesson did he learn? He was very greedy. He took all of their things. And then in the end, what happened? They saved things for him. So he learned a lesson. He learned that it's not really kind to be greedy. It's much better to share. Okay? Why do you think this was a good title for this book? All for me and none for all. See? He took everything, all for me, and he left nothing for everybody else. And it ends up kind of being a bad thing when you take everything, because it's not making others feel good. So it's much better to share. And what's nice about this is you learn that people can change, right? Now this book, again, Helen Lester likes to put voices with her animals. Now, in real life, could this really happen? Could the pigs and the Yorkie and the hen and the sheep, could they really talk? No. So that's what we call a fantasy. That's the type of book this is. It's fiction. But, you know, she gives voices to these animals, which is kind of funny. All right. And again, she used some interesting words for her names. She named her animals after the kind, like Hampshire and Berkshire were named after those types of pigs. And Gruntly was named that because pigs grunt. Cluck was named, the hen was named Cluck because hens cluck. Okay, so she's very clever, and again, she teaches a lesson. So we saw that Gruntley the pig changed. He changed in the beginning of the story, and he changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. So right now, take a minute to talk to who's next to you about how he changed. And you might even want to write it down. Gruntley acted like this before at the beginning of the story, and then at the end of the story, this is how he changed. Okay? And I do that for a minute. And then if you can pause this, you can do that. And now play it. And let's see, Gruntley, who's the pig, right? I wrote, in the beginning, he was very mean to his friends, wasn't he? He was greedy, and he takes things from them. He takes the pig's toys. He takes Yorkie's shoes. He cut fur off of Woolworth. And you know what I forgot? He took feathers from Cluck. But then at the end of the story, he shares his trail mix snack with his friends, right? He learns that it's much better to share. And I might add that too. He learns it is better to share. And I drew a picture of Gruntley. I should put a big G, because remember he always had a G on him. And I put a speech bubble and I wrote, I changed, because he did, he changed, right? So let me, I'll move this over a little bit here. And you know me, I love to draw. And there's this book I have that showed me how to draw a pig. And I'm going to show you right now so that maybe you could do this at home, okay? And it's probably not going to stay open for me. So we'll just go from this one to here. I hope this is going to stay. Let me put a little tape here. Okay. All right, so let's start with when this picture showed me, it started with actually the nose. So I can't start here because the ground is here, right? I'm going to start about here, and I'm just going to put a little circle and then 2 smaller circles inside. Okay, can you do that? And then I'm going to put the bottom here. It looks like a little bit of an arc, right? Right here, a little line to that. And then on the top, I see almost 3 little arcs like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And now let's look at this arc here. Boom. So it starts almost where these arcs and the circle meet. I'm going to go up and stop there. And then let's make this ear. So it's a little line, and then, well, actually, let's start here. We'll make a P. Watch. Part of a P, don't finish it, and go down. And then if I look here, I've got to make a line up and then a little arc. Line up, little arc, and then I can come across here, little line down, and then I'm going to make a big circle here. So you see? And underneath, we've got to put his mouth open. So I'm going to make a little U. And the tongue is like an upside down smile, like that. And then 2 little eyes, like dots. And then we can make a big body. So the body comes, the body comes from the ear. See, I almost made it from here, but I've got to look. I've got to start it where the ear is. he's going to be a little short here. And I'm going to come around all the way to here. And then we see he's got a little tail, so I could make it even like this if I want. And then he's got his legs. Line, line, point. Line, point. And he's got 4 legs, right? And then I could put the G and you can color him in. Okay? So you're getting some drawing lessons. So now when you go to write your stories, you can think about shapes when you draw pictures, okay, for your book.